Picture a sultry San Diego night, where Lily, alone in her quiet house, opens the door to Ryan, her husband's best friend. One reckless moment sparks a forbidden dance of desire, threatening to unravel her marriage. Can love survive a betrayal that feels so right? Dive into a story of passion, guilt, and the fight to reclaim what matters most. I'm Lily, 34, living in the sun-soaked sprawl of Southern California, married to Tom, a 36-year-old union rep for a state utility company. We've got a cozy 3-story townhouse in San Diego, garage on the first floor, living room, kitchen, and bathroom on the second, bedrooms up on the third. I work as an accountant at a private firm, juggling spreadsheets and deadlines, my 5 feet 3 inches frame tucked into pencil skirts and blouses that hug my 32D-25-34 curves. Tom's mom, Ellen, 63, lives with us but spends half the month traveling with her gal pals, leaving the house quiet and ours. Life's good, predictable, maybe a little too routine, until one steamy summer evening turned everything upside down. Tom's had this buddy, Ryan, since high school. Ryan's a PE teacher at a local high school, 5 feet 8 inches, about 170 pounds, with a gym rat build, think defined pecs and a backside that doesn't quit. He's not movie star handsome, but he's got this rugged charm, a quick wit that makes you laugh a little too hard, and a reputation as the guy every teenage girl at school has a crush on. Ryan lives nearby, practically part of the family, always popping by with a six-pack or a story. He's married to Mia, a sweet, curvy nurse, 5 feet 2 inches, 34C-26-36, with a warm smile and a knack for making everyone feel at home. We've all hung out plenty, barbecues, beach days, even a group trip to a hot springs resort in Palm Springs. Ryan's no stranger, which is why what happened caught me so off guard. It was a Friday, the kind of sticky San Diego evening where the air feels like a warm blanket. Tom was up in Sacramento for a union meeting, not due back until tomorrow. Ellen was off on a 2-day trip to the Sierra Mountains with her travel crew. The house was mine, a rare slice of solitude. Work had been a grind. Those pencil skirts and pantyhose are brutal in the summer heat, so as soon as I got home, I peeled off my office armor, took a cool shower, and slipped into a spaghetti-strap tank top and denim cutoffs that barely grazed my thighs. I was halfway through prepping a solo dinner, salad, wine, maybe some Netflix, when the doorbell chimed. I jogged downstairs, expecting a delivery guy, but there was Ryan, fresh from school in a tank top and gym shorts, his biceps glistening with a faint sheen of sweat. "Hey Lily," he said, flashing that easy grin. "Tom around?" I invited him up to the living room, the hardwood cool under my bare feet. "Nah, he's in Sacramento for work," I said, plopping onto the couch. "Back tomorrow." Ryan nodded, settling across from me, his shorts riding up just enough to show off those toned thighs. "Bummer," he said, holding up a plastic bag. "Bought some new boxer briefs, silk, super comfy. Thought Tom might want to pick a few. He's still rocking those old ones, right?" I laughed, picturing Tom's worn-out briefs in the laundry. "Yeah, he's due for an upgrade. I keep meaning to get him some." Ryan grinned, leaning back, his tank top stretching across his chest. "You okay here alone? Kinda quiet without Tom or Ellen." His tone was casual, but his eyes lingered, a flicker of something I couldn't quite place. I brushed it off, pouring us some iced tea, the clink of ice cubes filling the silence. "I'm good," I said. "Just chilling." We chatted about nothing, work, the Padres game, Mia's crazy hospital shifts. But the air felt different, heavier, like the heat was pressing us closer. Ryan mentioned he needed the bathroom, and before I could point him to the guest one upstairs, he darted into the second-floor bathroom, the one where I tossed my work clothes, including my lacy CK panties and bra, still sitting in the laundry basket. My cheeks flushed at the thought, but I shook it off. He's family, right? No big deal. When he came back, he had this mischievous glint in his eye. "Lily, gotta say, you've got killer style," he said, his voice teasing. "Those CKs in there? Fancy." My heart skipped, half embarrassed, half flattered. "Ryan, you snooping in my laundry?" I shot back, trying to sound stern but laughing despite myself. He raised his hands, mock innocent. "Couldn't help it." Saw him and thought, damn, Tom's a lucky guy. "You're rocking that look." His words hung in the air, a compliment wrapped in something bolder. I felt a warmth creep up my neck, my pulse quickening. "Mia's no slouch either," I said, deflecting. "She's got curves for days." Ryan chuckled, leaning forward. "Yeah, but Mia's all about saving money, buys those cheap bras that don't do her justice. Not like you. Bet those CKs make you feel like $1,000,000. I rolled my eyes, but inside I was glowing. I'd seen Mia in a swimsuit at the hot springs. She was gorgeous, but Ryan's flattery hit a nerve. "Come on," I said. "Mia's saving for you guys. Don't give her grief." He grinned, undeterred. "Just saying, you've got it figured out. Those curves? Tom's got it made." The conversation danced on that edge, playful but charged, like static before a storm. I shifted on the couch, my cutoffs riding up, and caught Ryan's eyes flick to my thighs. "So," he said, his voice lower, "you wear those thong things, right? For the skirts." My breath caught. "Yeah," I admitted, trying to keep it light. "Keeps the lines smooth. You should get Mia some, she'd rock 'em." He nodded, thoughtful. "Her birthday's coming up. Maybe I'll surprise her. But, I'm clueless about this stuff. You got any tips?" I froze, unsure how to navigate this. Before I could respond, Ryan stood, darted back to the bathroom, and returned holding, oh God, my lacy CK thong, still warm from the day. "Like this," he said, holding it up with a grin that was half teasing, half daring. "Tell me how to pick something like this for Mia." My face burned, a mix of shock and something else, something that made my pulse race. "Ryan, put that down," I said, but my voice cracked, betraying the flutter in my chest. He laughed, twirling the fabric. "Come on, it's just us. Smells nice too, like you." His words were a spark, igniting a memory from earlier that day. I'd been in the office break room, flipping channels, and stumbled on an adult show. The images had lingered, stirring something I hadn't acted on. Now, with Ryan standing there, my underwear in his hands, that heat came rushing back. I stood flustered, trying to grab the thong. "You're ridiculous," I said, but I was laughing, the tension melting into something dangerous. He stepped closer, his eyes locked on mine. "Lily, I'm serious. You're something else." The room felt smaller, the air thick with summer heat and unspoken possibilities. My heart pounded, a tug of war between guilt and a reckless curiosity I hadn't felt in years. I thought of Tom, steady and loving, but also the routine we'd fallen into. And here was Ryan, familiar, yet thrillingly unknown, his presence like a match held too close to kindling. I sank back onto the couch, my laugh fading. Ryan sat too, closer now, his knee brushing mine. "Sorry if I overstepped," he said, but his tone didn't sound sorry. It sounded hungry. I should have shut it down, sent him home, but my body wasn't listening. My eyes flicked to his shorts, the outline of his boxer briefs just visible, and for a moment, I let myself wonder. What would it be like? Just once, to step outside the lines? The thought was a wildfire, spreading fast, and I hated how much it thrilled me. Ryan broke the silence. "Forgot something," he said, pulling out a few pairs of men's silk boxer briefs from his bag. "Wanted you to pick some for Tom. Figured you'd know his size." His grin was back, but his eyes were intense, watching me too closely. I reached for the briefs, my fingers brushing his, and the contact sent a jolt through me. "These look nice," I said, my voice unsteady. "But I don't know if they're his size." Ryan leaned in, his breath warm. "I'm about his size. Wanna check?" Before I could process, he stood, tugged down his gym shorts, and stood there in nothing but tight silk briefs, the fabric leaving little to the imagination. My breath hitched. He was close, too close, his body radiating heat. "Ryan," I whispered, but it wasn't a protest. It was a question. He stepped forward, his hand finding my arm, his touch light but electric. "Lily," he said, his voice low, "tell me to stop." But I didn't. I couldn't. The air crackled, and when he pulled me close, it was like gravity took over. His hands found the straps of my tank top, slipping them down with a gentleness that belied the hunger in his eyes. My bra followed, the lacy fabric falling to the floor, and I shivered as the cool air hit my skin. Ryan's lips brushed my collarbone, a whisper of a kiss that sent sparks down my spine. "You're beautiful," he murmured, and I felt myself unraveling, caught between guilt and a need I hadn't acknowledged in years. He lifted me, carrying me to the bedroom, Tom's and mine, the bed we'd shared for years, and the weight of that hit me, but so did the thrill. Ryan's hands were everywhere, tracing my curves like he was mapping a treasure, his touch both tender and urgent. My cutoffs were gone in a blur, leaving just my thong, and when he slid it down, I felt exposed, vulnerable, alive. The room was a haze of moonlight and heat, the bed creaking softly as we moved together. Ryan's kisses were slow, deliberate, each one a question I answered with a sigh. His fingers danced across my skin, finding places that made me gasp, the tension building like a wave ready to crash. I closed my eyes, letting sensation take over, his breath against my neck, the rhythm of our bodies syncing like a song we both knew. It was intense, reckless, a moment stolen from reality. Every touch was a secret, every whisper a confession, and I let myself drown in it, the guilt shoved to a corner I'd deal with later. Afterward, we lay there, the silence heavy with what we'd done. Ryan kissed my forehead, his voice soft. "You're incredible, Lily." I laughed, a shaky sound, and swatted his arm. "Don't compare me to Mia," I said, trying to keep it light. He grinned, but his eyes were serious. "We're still friends, right?" I nodded, but my heart was a mess. "Go home," I said, "before Mia wonders." He dressed, gave me one last look, and left. I collapsed on the couch, the room still humming with his presence. My fingers wandered, tracing the memory of his touch, and for a moment, I let myself relive it, the heat, the rush, the forbidden thrill. But guilt crept in like a cold tide. Tom would be home tomorrow, and the bed, our bed, felt different now. I cleaned up, changed the sheets, but my body still ached, a reminder of the line I'd crossed. I told myself it was a one-time thing, a mistake we'd bury. But Ryan kept coming around, casual visits, knowing smiles, his hand brushing mine at a barbecue. Each time, my pulse raced, and I hated how much I wanted it to happen again. Mia's laughter, Tom's steady hand in mine, they were anchors, but Ryan was a current, pulling me under. Weeks later, at a group dinner, the tension was palpable. Ryan's foot grazed mine under the table, his eyes catching mine across the chatter. Tom squeezed my hand, oblivious, and Mia told a story about her hospital shift, her smile bright. I felt like a fraud, torn between the life I'd built and the thrill I couldn't shake. One night, alone with Tom, I broke. "I did something," I whispered, my voice trembling. His face froze, but he listened as I spilled it all. Ryan, the night, the guilt. He was quiet, then said, "I love you, Lily. But we need to fix this." We went to therapy, not because we were broken, but because we wanted to rebuild. Ryan and I kept our distance, and Mia never knew, but the weight of it lingered. Months later, at a beach bonfire, I saw Ryan across the flames, Mia's arm around him. Tom pulled me close, his warmth grounding me. We'd fought, cried, rebuilt. Love wasn't just passion, it was choosing each other, even after a fall. As the waves crashed, I knew we'd found our way back, not perfect but stronger.